So despite the advances in science, there's still no such thing as a perfect measurement. We still have to do the best we can to do a measurement, and there's going to be fundamental limitations how well we can do it. And on top of that, there's also going to be the randomness of the world. And all these things are going to keep us from having any perfect knowledge. So how do we communicate how good our measurement is? That's going to be a critical thing, right? If we can't have perfect measurements, we've got to give the reader some idea of how good it is. And I'm not going to tell you that I'm an excellent juggler without mentioning that, yes, I can throw the bowling pin up in the air 3 times without hitting someone else on the head. I've got to actually describe that I can only do it 3 times, or that I can do it 40 or 50 times in a row without dropping anything, or give some sort of an indicator. Well, how do we do that in chemistry? We use something called significant figures. It's a very quick, basic communication of how well known a value or a calculation result will be. Often, the values that we're going to be using throughout our textbook and the problem sets, we'll usually actually know them in the sciences better than we're giving them to you in the textbook. For example, if we were to go look at a periodic table for the mass of hydrogen, your textbook probably lists it as 1.008. I actually have it memorized in my head as 1.00794. And even then, there are better measurements than that out there, but there is a limitation to how good it can be. We have to communicate how well we know it by how many places we're going to show in the value. So if you've been in the habit of writing down, thinking, well, I have 8 places on my calculator, I should be writing those all down. You are completely lying about how well you know something. Now, statistics would give us an even more nuanced set of methods. And that's what we go on to later, past Chemistry 1. But during Gen Chem 1, we're going to stick with sig figs instead. You'll often hear me abbreviate it sig figs, or even just write SF. That's how commonly we're going to be referring to sig figs throughout the semester. If you don't have the correct sig figs in your calculation and answer are going to be incorrect, and you're going to be losing points. You've got to be using sig figs to communicate the quality of the measurement and the quality of the math.